Well, a bunch of things showed up today, and it was pretty much everything to button up the front end. So I got a heat exchanger. Like I said, I got a skinnier, wider guy. So look at this thing. So now it has a filler neck right here, and it fits in here nice. It has really good surface area. And I put the pump right here. It's right off of the guy right there. It's got two drains actually. I think one you can put a temperature probe in, and then the other one is a drain. So the pump is right there, and it's mounted with its own little rubber mount. And then what's nice is it fits right around the filter, and it pumps the water all the way around. So one thing you guys got to see is, well, here's the old exchanger. I took pictures of them next to each other. This is just a brick, so it's a little bit bigger, and in my experience, just I feel like these work better. So we're gonna find out, that's for sure. And I removed this guy, and I removed all of this hose from the car. All of this hose was in the car, and this tank, and it held, this tank and the hoses held about 10 gallons of water. I think I took 9 gallons out, and it wasn't even totally full. So I got rid of all of that water in the car, just sloshing around. And like I said, I think I said in the other video, there wasn't a huge difference with icing everything down, and having that much capacity really didn't matter. The temperature, the intercooler is still this big. It's like a Texas toast sandwich. It's not big. So this heats up fast. And if you have 10 gallons, it takes a long time to heat up and it stays hot. And if you just have a smaller amount of water, it'll get hot fast like it does already, and it'll come down real fast. Maybe even cool off well while it's trying to get hot. So I jammed this guy in here. I did have to cut out a bunch of the hood latch stuff. Not the hood latch, but like there's stuff that held ABS sensor or airbag and some other things, like this temperature sensor for the front. So I rerouted the wires to behind the aluminum support, so it's not really blocking the heat exchanger. So the heat exchanger gets good real estate. Excuse me, I stepped on that. So that's nice. I guess I could always drill holes to get even more air, but the bumper blocks all that anyway. So the bumper is open down here and open up here. So this will work out very good. And I only have like 2 gallons max in the system, and then maybe 6 feet of hose. So I'm much happier with that. Check out this 10 rib belt. It looks unreal in here. Crazy, right? So I got the 10 rib. Really funny. Check this out. There she is. Extreme Duty Poly V-Belt RPM Continental, etc. So I measured and I guessed what I would need, and I went on Rock Auto and looked up 8 ribs and was ready for some sticker shock. And they were selling, these were $2 a piece. These were like $6, and this was like $10. So this is an 81 and a half. This is an 82. These are 82 and a halves. This is like a 03 F650. This is like a common 2002 3500 Dodge, 2500 like Cummins. I think a lot of you guys might recognize these. This is like a 1979 to 1982 D300, and 82 and a half. Also 2009, 2095. What is that? Centimeter, millimeter? 2095 millimeter. So I got small ones just in case, but I measured about 81 inches, and that was with a stretched out belt. So I was like, well, brand new belt, I probably won't even be able to install 81, because that belt that I had on there, I channel locked it on tight, and it was already gummy from sitting in the attic and on a junkyard engine and something else. So I went with the 82 and a half. Since they were $2, I bought 3 of them for $2 a piece, and the 82 and a half fits great. That's what's on right now. So it is tight, and there isn't really much to do with it. It is so tight, and it's I think it's just because it's 8 rib. It is incredibly hard to bend. There is plenty of tension. The neat thing is I'm kind of far on my manual tensioner, but this guy installs underneath, so if the belt really relaxes quite a bit, it's easy to install. The other belts were hard to install. I think I showed how I stripped out that one bolt. I actually just tapped it and it cleaned it up. So it was so hard to install the block, and it got the belt so tight that I was like risking stripping everything out. So if the belt wears out and is all crappy, I can throw this tensioner in between those two, straight down under the fan there. This is the idler in between the crank and the alternator, and it's bigger, so you can slam that in. Because there really isn't much. The only thing with this setup is, what's nice is it uses all the stock accessories in the stock location, so you can keep everything. You don't have to do anything. But it kind of traps you with the manual tension setup. But it's not really that big of a problem once you iron out these small things. So, other than that, I'm stepping on the same noisemaker. Other than that, I'm super happy with this. I put foam behind this, and then I put these guys and the selfies, and they hold it up, and then it has self-tappers down here too. And this thing is in here. It's solid, but it's almost like it's rubber mounted. So it moves just a tiny bit, so it won't like flex or crack. It's very similar to like the stock Rad has the rubber, you can wiggle things. So happy with how all this came out. Can't wait to see how it does. So I got my blower belt on. I did my fuel lines and everything. I even closed up the thing. I'm going to put the back seat in. I closed it up. I'll show you pictures of the fuel lines. I got my solid state guy powering the fans PWM, and then this is fuel pump, and then this is heat exchanger pump. And I cleaned up all my grounds and wiring and stuff under here. The only thing, I did all my fuel lines, and I was not sure where I wanted to mount it, and I was wasting too much time. So I just kind of set it over there like this, all ugly, but it's hooked up and it's working. I might change it later. I'm really happy with all this stuff. So it's one of those things where I come up with a better idea. If I stall out on something, I just get it done because I can just come back and do it later. The fuel thing is not really a big problem. And then you can see I put push lock on this to the return. So this is the stock feed that has the flex sensor in it. And then I boogered this one. I cut the thing too far down, so it has like all the stabby boys poking out. So I just taped it for now because I'll probably redo this, because I forgot to order a 3/8 push lock to 8AN fitting for this. So I attempted to heat this up and shove it over this and then hose clamp it, and it leaks. It just takes a little tinkle, so that's not safe. I mean, I just wanted to set my fuel pressure and whatnot, so all of that is sorted. This is good. That guy just tinkles a little bit. This is all watertight already. The only reason I haven't put it back together yet is it's starting to get late, and I've been putting in a lot of late nights. So I wanted to show everybody too how easy it was to. There's plenty of room to work around this too. There's room in the front here, in between everything. There should be plenty of airflow. It should be really good. The other thing is I thought about getting like a taller filler neck and being able to just pop the hood and fill this, but the hood gets pretty close to it. And the other thing is this grill is not hard to remove at all. It pops right out, just like the Silverados and whatnot. And I relocated the horns. I hope these are okay over here. I don't think anything is really in those corners, so I should be good. Everything seems happy. So, wanted to show that, and then yeah, I used these self-tappy zippy boys to hold up all my hoses. And I still have an ABS light. I have a second sensor. I think I tried it. Maybe something else is going on. Maybe I'll ask some Nissan guys that stuff later, but I wanted to get my headlights in, and then all of the stuff is missing under here. You just got to zip tie most of this, unfortunately. Whatever. She's a 07. Headlights, bumper. I just need this fuel fitting, and then I can drive it. I might start it and warm it up and everything with that crappy guy on there, because it just leaks a little. But realistically, we know how that'll go, and I want to drive it right away, so I should probably just wait. So that's it. Those are my upgrades for now. I bled my heat exchanger system. It's got nice flow. Just peas right across that, and so very interested to see how far it goes. Interested to see how far my fuel system can go now. And then I would like to put a dry shot on top of this if I have a deficit everywhere else.